Hey guys, and welcome back. Or if you're new, hi, how you guys doing? Please subscribe. Today I'm gonna be doing a story time video because I got some stories from Imvu that I need to let out. I need to tell them. I need to. Okay. So let me just start with the story. So one day I was in chat now, right? Chat now. Yeah, I was in chat now, and I was trying to look for a man. I was trying to look for a guy, and this is before I got my age change, so I was still it still said I was 21, but my age was hidden and stuff. So it said I was 21 on mobile or something. So I was still in the adult I'm view section, and I was looking for a man. How I do. And I found this guy, and his name was Mike. That's his real name because it's not his real name, but we'll get into that in a second. So there was this guy named Mike, and I met him in chat now, and he was a nice guy. He was sweet, and I didn't see him as my kind of guy though. He wasn't my type. He wasn't what I was looking for in a man, but he was real sweet, and he was nice, and and I just I had a connection with him, and I was like, okay, I need to make this guy a part of my life. So the next day or something, I invited him to um a room I was in, and I was by myself and stuff, and he was like, why are you by yourself? And I was like, oh, just because I wanted to talk to you. And he was like, all right. So I I told him, yo, you want to be my brother? And he was like, well, duh, sure, obviously, of course. And I was like, girl, yes, I got me a brother. And this is before I've even had an IMV family. I've had IMV families now. Now I've had I even over here I have my kid's bedroom over there. That's my kid's room over there. Like now I got a family. I just didn't really have a family before. I never had an IMV family. So this was my first time having a brother, so I was like, oh my god, yes, this is awesome, oh my god. So so as time progressed, we got closer and closer, and he introduced me to his friend. His friend's name was, we're gonna call him Mike number 2, because Mike is his real name, but it's not really. So Mike number 2. And they were roommates or something, right? And they were close, and I was getting close with them too. And Mike number 2 was alright. He was kind of cute, but he was newbie too. He just started. But a couple of days later, he got VIP and AP and stuff, so he wasn't newbie anymore. And he would gift me and stuff, and I was like, yes, thank you. I love gifts so much, cause I'm a cheap bitch. So yeah. Anyway, so we all got close, and we had this guy named Jay, and Jay's my friend, and that's his real name because he's my best friend. He's amazing. I love him so much. And he was part of our little group, and he had a room, and we'd go in there all the time. It'd be Mike number 2, Jay, and me, and we'd all chill out. But one day when me and Mike number 2 got into this big old fight, we'd fight all the time, but this was a bigger fight, and he messaged me one day when we were in this fight, and he was like, well, you want to know something? And I was like, what do I want to know? Tell me. And he was like, Mike, Mike number 1, Mike, and him, Mike is actually a girl, and that we have a child together. And I didn't believe him at all. I was like, bro, stop lying, you're not funny, stop it. And I was so convinced he was lying, but we made up, and then I kind of just pushed that aside. I didn't believe it at all. But let's skip on a few months later. A few months later, I had broken up with this boyfriend I had, who's a whole nother story time. I'll get into that later. But Alright, so like, alright, so like, we kind of got married to each other. Like, this is just wow, wow. Like, okay, so me and Mike number two got married. I know. What? Yeah, we got married, but it wasn't like an official marriage. Like, it was like we bought the thing and stuff. Like, he bought it for me, and he's like, "Yo, I got two of these like marriage things. You want to try getting married?" And I was like, "Yeah, duh, let's try it." Like, and it was just like a friend thing, you know. So I didn't think much of it. And like, he had this daughter, and I'd like raise her, and he'd like never be on, and I'd like role play with her, and I'd be like, she was like my best friend. Like, we'd role play together and everything, and I would role play with her, and I'd love her. Like, I love her now. Her name was Alexi, and I would love her. Anyway, so he would never be on, and I'd be like, all right. And we get into fights about how he's never on. He'd like tell me he had to work and stuff. And this whole time they think I'm like this 22-year-old, but I'm actually 16. So he'd be like, yo, like, what's the idea behind this? Like, why are you acting like a kid? And I'd be like, oh shoot, why am I acting like a kid? Like, Well, one day, me and Mike number one and Mike number two, my friend Raven, who was married to Mike, who was married to Mike number one, we would all be together. And Raven's my best friend in real life, and we were like young together. We were both like pretending to be these older people on Imvu. We were like catfishing people. Like, we pretend to be like 21-year-olds and 18-year-olds, and like we pretend. And I know that's wrong, but we would. And one day, Mike number one and Mike number two were like on Facebook, and they like found us, and I was like, shoot, like, oh crap, like, and I look young, like, even though I'm 16, like, I look like I'm 12, like, I look really young, I look like a baby, like, and I was like, oh shit, like, bruh, what am I gonna do? And Raven and me were kind of freaking out, and they're like, bro, you guys look so young, what the hell, like, and I was like, uh-oh, like, what are we gonna say? And we were like trying to make up these things, like, oh, no, bro, like, no, those were taken like a long time ago, we just posted them today. Like, we were making up these excuses, but like they weren't buying it, and I was like, oh god, we're gonna have to just tell them. So like, yeah, we kind of told them, and they were like kind of okay with it and stuff. But then, like, a couple of days later, when we were in the room that we were in all the time was this room I'm actually in right now, which is now my family home. But like, it's in this room over here that I'm in right now. And we'd go over to this little part in this room that is like a little couch, and we would chill there. And one day, Mike number one was like dressing like a girl, and we were like, all right, that's cool. Everyone wants different avatars, you know? But he invited us to this room when we were still in that room. He invited us to a different room, and he like sat us all down, you know, and he was like, okay, I got something to tell you. And I was like, oh shit, what do you gotta tell us, bro? Like, what's going on? Like, okay. So he like told us that he was a girl, and that him and Mike number two were married, and they had a kid together. And now Mike number two told me about this before, and I was like, okay, so this is actually real. Like, this is a real thing. And he was like, yep, it's real. Everything's real. And I was kind of like, shoot, like, this person that was my brother, like, he like totally like like is a girl, and I thought he lied to me. And he was like, well, you guys lied to us too. And I was like, yeah, but like not about our gender and stuff. But like, I was okay with it, and we kind of, you know, hung out. And then Mike number one told us his name was Brittany, and I was kind of like, Brittany, like, really, like, that's such a basic name. Like, if your name's Brittany, I'm sorry, but it's pretty basic. It's like a random name, you know? Like, it's like Mike, or like, it's like Bob. Okay, it's a random name. And I thought they just made it up, so I was still in denial. And I was like, bro, they're making this stuff up. Like, it can't be real. But like, it was. Like, Mike number two showed me a picture of Brittany, and I was like, bruh. And then he showed me a picture of his baby, and he showed me videos, and me and Mike number 2 were still really close, but we weren't married anymore, because he like told me that we shouldn't be married, and I was like, all right, that's fine, because I didn't really think of it as a marriage. I thought of it as like a friendship. And he'd show me pictures of his like baby and stuff, and I'd be like, bro, it's real, like it's a real thing. So that's the story time of how I found out that my brother was actually a girl and my friend was actually my okay. I found out that my brother was actually a girl and that my friend was actually my brother's husband. So alright. That was such a weird story. I'm sorry. I have like at least 4 more story times about Imvu that I can get into. Bro, like I can. Do you want to leave some suggestions on what's going on? Please do. Comment, like, subscribe. I love you guys. My little chicken nuggets. I love you. Thanks for watching.